Hi everyone, welcome back to Spiritual Growth Tarot. I'm Denise, and I have a really good question from Neil, Neil Dixon. I love his comments. I love you, Neil, your comments as well. So anyway, I'm just going to read it because there's no way I could do it justice either, in any other way. He says, Denise, the release of JFK assassination records have been delayed, from December 15th, 21 to December 15th, 22. And I guess they're citing COVID. He wants to know, is this for real or just an ever more stonewalling of nearly 60 years after the fact? Yeah, really good question. And he says, talk about waiting for justice. Can you imagine if it were Lincoln and holding back the truth until 1925? Yeah. So anyway, let me get the camera dropped down and explore this. See what comes through. Okay, so I feel drawn to using this deck, the Gilded Reverie by Ciro Marchetti. And I may use another one after, but let's see what comes through with this deck. So what are the real reasons the record's release is delayed? Is it really due to COVID? What are the real reasons? Why are these records still delayed after, 58 years, I think? Okay, what are the real reasons? Okay. Yeah, it's been a long time, that's for sure. Yeah, trying to protect. And then the obstacles, let's see. 5, let me do one more row. I have no idea who she is. That's kind of weird. And this man, maybe, well, would this have to do with Jackie and JFK? I mean, that's really weird. I'm sure I'll have to draw some more cards, so let me just scooch them all up here. And I may use that other deck I was thinking of. Oh, let's see. Oh, we've got plenty of room. Okay. There, I think that's the least of the glare I can... These are those, highly laminated cards I wish they'd stop making, but for now. Okay, so with the tree here, opening up the reading, the tree and then the heart has to do with the care for the system, the care for the system, the care for the analysis that has to happen, the care for all of the investments that have had to occurred. So what are we talking? This is the huge, what I keep in my mind's, what's popping into my head is if I were using the tarot, I really think that the Hierophant would have come through, which would show, our government. But I'm really drawn to, this is of course the Tree of Life here, but I'm feeling like, CIA, FBI, NSA, all these security systems, and that's further reinforced here with the dog. The dog is all about protection and security. So there's still something Or maybe this is showing the past, because here we have, the wisdom and the communications of all of these different, what's the right word, departments, I guess, that comprise our security. And look how these cards knight together. I really do think this was JFK, and I think that this is Jackie. So I'm probably just going to have to layer another, I'll maybe put another 10 cards on top, but is protecting him. She's still alive. His children are still alive. His grandchildren, there's things like that, right? Because we've got hidden enemies here touching him. I feel like this has to do with what was going on. Maybe it's the real reason he was assassinated, and I've always felt that it had something to do with some mob situation, and I felt like Castro was involved, and maybe our security systems on, if I were to read it in a different level or layer, Castro himself, because I'm pretty sure I read something years ago about, our CIA and our FBI had some assassination attempt on, or not attempt, I don't know if there was ever an attempt, but, some records around that possibility that they were thinking of taking him out. But, we just have to remember Cuba and the Panama Canal and all of that, all of those, whatever was going on prior to and at the time of, that fateful year. I'll never forget. I was 9 years old in school when it happened, and and I do remember it was right before Thanksgiving, because it's like, where you are when something happens, you never forget that point in time. So anyway, so from 1963 and back, like, what was going on? You guys are better history buffs than I am, so I'll let you comment and clue me in. But I remember stuff about Castro later on when I was old enough to, really get into it. And of course we had the Oliver Stone, movie that made us wonder. But I've come to not, over the years since Oliver Stone, went and kissed Putin's ring, is the nicest way I can put it, and he did all that. I don't have so much respect for him anymore, for neither of them, but especially for Oliver, well, for neither of them. So anyway, the real reasons, the records still haven't come out, and I feel like redactions, I feel protection for Jackie, and to protect him and his family is what I'm feeling. But we've got information here, news coming out, but the real reasons that they've been delayed, here's our delay here, and this would be the release, the delay. There's something surprising underneath it. And it has to do with abuse. They're trying to protect, or it could be protective actions. It's a here it is. It's a protective act from hidden enemies. So notice I don't have any COVID cards here. If I had COVID cards here, I would have the clouds that rules the lungs, and those types of hesitations. But I'll use another deck that does have illness cards, that are more clear. Let me make sure. So protecting abuse that could happen to Jackie. Wait, you guys, I forget. Is she still? I don't know if she's still alive. But there's some couple they're protecting. If it's not Jackie and their family, I don't know who it would be. This is really weird. Yeah, okay, so the care, the protection, the delays have to do with a couple. Something surprising and actions because of hidden enemies. This could be the repetitive block because of some couple. So let me go ahead and draw another layer over and see. Let me get some more information, because if I put the camera way up, it's too hard to see the cards, so I'm just going to do it this way. Okay, so there's still some masking of something that's risky, too risky, that would connect what? Time. Okay. Okay, let me just keep going. Oh, no, there's the COVID card, but let's keep going. Yeah. Rings, a commitment, danger. Okay, so they're still masking something that's risky. And then there's hesitation, so masking, and then, you know what? Well, let's see. Let me be careful before I say something. Because this card can have to do with distractions. This card is not honest. It's two-faced. It's duplicitous. It has to do with masking something. And they're afraid of being risky. Oh, and these could be the connections of people who, did things in the past. Because this has to do with the past. The past bridges of information. Okay, so yeah, there are people that are still alive who could be put in danger because of past actions, because we have to remember actions, connections of actions, and their reputation. So I'm feeling like this is like, intel, right? Because you put these two cards together, and this is the connections of, because the dog is all about people who protect, people who have been helpful, people that are trustworthy. So these connections. And time, I feel like, yeah, past hidden enemies. But they do, well, and people who have hidden information so that they could be protective, with the dog back there. This card is all about looking, of course, you can see it's a magnifying glass, looking more deeply into something, but because literally it is a magnifying glass, they might not want to put a magnifying glass on whoever these, these people are, right here. And their reputation. They don't want something to come out. They're masking it because they're trying to protect whoever these people are. Also, on another level, this mask of it's all COVID related may not be the real reason. may be a distraction, maybe an alternative, because one of the key meanings with the Crossroads Pathways card is, choice. You're at a crossroads. This one, you come up the stairs, you get to here and you have to go one way or the other. Well, they're masking that and setting up this distraction because they're really afraid of burning bridges or creating danger. Yeah, there are people who would still be in danger. And I don't know who this couple is. This could very well be this. It's very, very possible that these people are not, John F. Kennedy and Jackie O, or Jackie. She was Jackie O after, but anyway, not them. And it is a couple who worked, undercover in intel. Like I'm thinking for the NSA. Which is also, CIA and FBI. So anyway, but it is their commitment. This is literally the time commitment to wait until it's not dangerous anymore to whoever this couple is, and I have no idea who they are, cannot say. So, okay, so that's, I have, I think, exhausted what I can give you with this deck. Let me use one more deck, and we'll find out. Was it really because of COVID or not? Okay, so the real reason, so I'm going to use this goofy little deck, Archie McPhee. Future fortune cards. I think it's Archie McPhee. I have no idea. It's Archie. I think it's Archie McPhee. Anyway. So the real reasons the records have not been released. Is it really due to COVID? So I thought I remember reading that a lot of them had been destroyed too. A lot of records had been destroyed. Okay, but why have they not been released for this last time? I mean, it should have happened. It's been happening little by little, but okay. Yeah, there's something weird. I think I'm getting a baseline here, and I'll have to layer again with these cards, but meanwhile... Okay, so the sun reveals the fox can be an assassination attempt. It's also the card of spies, right? The infinity card just means a massive amount of wisdom with the lilies is going into a lot of different people. These two cards here are a lot of different spies, intelligence. I'm not going to read this card as a traditional, like the cat lady who's isolated but has all her friends. I'm going with the image here. This is a woman with sunglasses on, kind of hiding. And this is a spy card. So this is a female spy. The king, in this situation, like this would be like the main character you're reading on. So I would have to say this is JFK. This could be a love relationship he had, so maybe we're talking like Marilyn Monroe was in there, something to do with, right? Because did she really overdose, or was she assassinated herself, or what's, there's that mystery too. Unless there's more that came out that I don't know about, and you guys can let me know. Set me straight if I'm wrong. But, again, news. So the real reason has to do with assassination, spying, a love relationship with JFK, and this just infinite amount of information that could be revealed, but there's some wisdom as to trying to keep keep harmonious relationships with the spies and the intel, community, probably all over the world. Yeah. This has me in that time period of, like the 60s. This passing of money, knights up here to whomever this woman is, and her identity can't be revealed. Let me draw another layer, because I just have to keep, again, with somebody they care about. There's an abundance. Well, let me draw the cards. Let me just draw the cards. And there, again, this man and woman. So, just in case I thought I'd drawn the wrong cards, I would say, with the Lenormand having the woman and the man over here. Now I'm saying, no, I don't think I did. Because it's coming, it's happening again. Coming through again. That's the past, goes to the past. Okay, so that could be COVID. ET information? I don't know. Hold on. Let me see what the two cards on the bottom as well. The moon, and then again the protection. Protecting, of course, people's reputations. With this being a Sagittarius card, I feel like all over the world. And, we can see spies in Russia all over this card too. Protection. Interesting. Okay, so let's look at this layer. So there's care for an abundance of information and information on a woman and whoever, this man here is. And for her safety, amidst this, I guess, fire that could come out towards her, that would happen for sure and could sink her. And from the past, like this knighting together from the past, there's an abundance. This knight's here. These two cards touch. Knighting, so these two cards knighting together has to do with an abundance of something from the past that could just, because these cards up here are a little more powerful than this bottom row, because they control the bottom row. So there's, a lot of really dark energy from the past. And something about a breakup. So again, I'm feeling like, what in the heck? Is there something about Marilyn Monroe and JFK in there? Or they're waiting until there's a breakup of this type of energy. And again with the cats, like caring about all these independent, but a massive amount of, or an abundant amount, whatever. Because remember that infinity there. Yeah, an abundant amount of wisdom for this woman, and again, woman. Because they just don't want everything in a blender going out there. But as far as the COVID excuse, I think it's BS, you guys. Oh yeah, definitely this deck is Archie McPhee. There's his little logo. Okay. So COVID excuse, I feel, is kind of like, it's not grounded, right? It's not a grounded excuse. And here's the real thing going underneath is the protection that's still needed for the reputation and maybe safety. So let me just use a different, well, I'll do a couple really short questions here just to kind of tie it all up. Let me use my little, where is my yes and no deck? Oh, it's okay, I'll just use a regular. So yes or no, is the real reason the record's release is delayed because of, is the real reason because of COVID? Yes or no? Is it truth or lies about that? Truth or lies about using COVID as a, is that the real reason? Yes or no? Well, maybe this is Biden going along with it. This one here is tricky. Do have a lot of yes cards here. Yeah. The public. Yeah, we do have a lot of yes cards here, but there is also, I'm gonna call it as yes and no. COVID definitely is slowing things down, of course, because they've got a lot of yes here. But there's also something tricky going on. Yeah. Okay. Let me use my timing cards and see if I can get a time frame for when they might be released. But let's say, well, let's say in their entirety, if that can even ever happen. Because I just feel like something's up. It might be that there are still people alive that could be affected. But anyway, let's see when the next big dump is going to come out. Because it's supposed to happen December something. Let's see if that's actually true. About a year? Okay, so between 6 months and a year. So I didn't get anything about, well, maybe 4 months. Okay, so I don't really see anything happening unless I've drawn the wrong cards, but I don't see anything happening in a couple months. So I think they're going to delay it again, and maybe these will be like the 3 dumps. Yeah, between 11 months and a year. So, okay, you guys. Well, Neil, that is the best I can do there on this one. I still have your wonderful question on prison reform coming through, and I'll do that maybe next. We'll see. Okay. Bye, you guys. Take good care.